This video is about how to use the z-table. We'll also call it the standard normal table. Okay, you should have a copy of this. I'll put it on BBLearn. If you don't have it, I've given it out in class. Okay, this table, what it does is it gives us the area between specific z-scores and the mean. Okay, so if you have a z-score and you look it up, let's say, for example, we have a z-score of 1.89. Okay, so what we do then to find the area between z equals 0 and z equals 1.89, we look on our z-table. Now we should know that mu is always 0 in the standard normal, isn't it? Okay, so the area between z equals 0, aka the mean, and z equals 1.89, all we have to do is down the left hand side of the column, the left hand column, we're going to find 1.8. Here's 1.8. Okay, and then we want 1.89. So up here is where we find that digit that's in the hundredths place. So 1.8, this was the area between 1.80 and the mean. This is the area between 1.81 and the mean, and so on. Okay, our z-value is 1.89. So this is what is called the p-value. This is the area between the z-value of 1.89 and the mean, 0.4706. Okay, so the answer to this is, let's see if this is working now, 0.4706. So 0.4706. Okay, so for 1, 2, 3, and 4, all I'm asking you to do is just take the p-score, this is the p-value, you know, you just take the p-value straight off the table for these z-values, okay, because I'm asking you just to find the area between the z-score and the mean. Okay, if we look down, I've given you some problems to the right and to the left. Now those have just an additional step in them. So let's do this one. To the right of z equals 2.11. Okay, so if we look here, first thing we'll look up 2.11. Okay, so here's 2.1. All right, this would be 2.0. Okay, and I know that because of this up at the top. Okay, so this is 2.10. This is the area between 2.11 and the mean. Okay, let me just jot this down here. So 0.4826, 0.4826. Now that's not the final answer. Okay, that's just the p-value from the table. Because if we think about it, the question asks us to find the area to the right of that z-value. Okay? So the table gives us this area here with the blue borders. The question is asking us to find this area here to the right. Okay? If we know our characteristics of the curve, we know that this, 1/2 of the curve, is 0.5. Okay, we know that that's the total area. So then we can use a form of the complement rule. We can take 0.5, because that's the area of half the curve, and we can subtract this p-value that we got from the table to give us this remaining area. Okay? So that's what we'll do. We jotted down the p-value from the table. Okay? So 0.4826 was the area between 2.11 and the mean. So now we'll just take 0.5 and we'll subtract that p-value. Okay? And we will get an answer of 0.0174. Okay, so that's the answer to number 5. Right? So number 6, you do it the same way because it's a positive z-value. Okay? To the left, actually, let's squeeze in an extra one here. Let's do, this is not one that's on the worksheet. Let's do to the right of z equals negative 2.11. Okay? So, to the right of z equals negative 2.11, what we know from our table, here's where our z value would be. Okay, negative 2.11. Here's the mean. Okay, so we know from the little work we've already done that this area that I'm shading, the area between my z value and the mean, I don't know why it changes that to a 1. Okay, is 0.4826. So let's just write that down here. 0.4826. Okay, so now this little question that I just made up, I want us to find the area to the right of this z value. Okay, so we know that this shaded area is 0.4826. But what I've asked for the whole area to the right. So hopefully, if you know your characteristics of the curve, you can see that with a negative z value, a to the right question is slightly different. Instead of subtracting the p-value from 0.5, we take the p-value, okay, that's our p-value, 0.4826, and we add 0.5. All right? So our answer for this question, which I just made up, would be 0.9826, because this is a negative z value. Okay, let's do it to the left question now with a negative z value. So let's do number 7. Okay, to the left of z equals negative 0.75. So the first step, we've got to find that on the table. So negative, we just take away the negative sign. So 0.75. Here's the p-value, whoops. Okay, the z-score of 0.75 has a p-value of 0.2734. Okay, 2734. So let's jot that down here. Okay, now, where should I draw my little curve? Need a bigger paper. Okay, this one. So here's our curve. And our z-score is negative, so I'll put it here. Our z-score is negative 0.75. Negative 0.75. Okay? And we now know from just looking up the z-score on that table, we know that the area between our z-score and the mean is equal to 0.2734. Okay? So this question wants us to find the area to the left of z equals negative 0.75. So what it's asking for the area this way. It wants this white area. Okay? Again, if you know the characteristics of the curve, I think it's quite logical how we will solve this. The area to the left of this value is going to be 0.5, because the whole half of the curve, its area is 0.5, minus this p-value. Okay? So 0.5 minus 0.2734. Okay, and that's going to give us 0.2266. 0.2266 is our answer for number 7. Okay. Let's do a problem to the left of a positive number. Okay. So I'll put that down here. Okay, I'm just going to make one up. So to the left of, actually let's just take that same number, but we'll say it's positive. To the left of z equals positive 1.43. Okay, so what we're being asked to find, here's our curve, this is the mean, and here is our z value of positive 1.43. Okay, so we're being asked to find the area to the left, okay, of that z value. Now, because of the symmetry of the table, I'm just looking, okay, well, actually we need to look on the table for this. Okay, negative 1.43. Okay, let's look on the table. 1.43. Okay, so we'll find the 1.4 in this column, 1.4, and then we'll go over 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is the p-score, 0.4236. 0.4236. Okay, so we know that this area that I've shaded is approximately 42% of the curve, the area under the curve. Now, the question wants us to find the area to the left of that value. Okay, so again, if you understand the characteristics of the curve, it's very logical. We know that this shaded part is 0.4236. The question wants us to find all of this. Okay, we know that this half is 0.5, so if we're going to find the whole area to the left of z equals 1.43, we're going to take 0.5 and we're going to add it to that p-value. So 0.9236. Okay? So what we've done in this video, we've learned how to, the basics of the z-table. Okay, the z-table has p-scores, and all these p-scores, in what I call the heart of the table, these 4-digit numbers that are in the middle of the table, they just represent the area between a specific z-score and the mean. Okay, so these are useful. I mean, we're just doing the very first step. You won't get problems this easy on the exam. Okay, we're just practicing using the z-table. So we did basic problems, just finding the area between the mean and the z-score, which is just copying the p-value from the table. We did to the right problems with positive z-scores and negative z-scores. Okay, and then we did to the left problems with negative z-scores and positive z-scores. Okay? In the next video, we're going to talk about how to do between problems.